Hey everybody, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here because today we're going to talk about something that's going to change how you think about getting paid as a virtual assistant. This is a very important topic that we're going to cover today. And I know that some of you might be thinking that you don't have the tech skills or you don't know enough yet, but there's so many VAs out there. There's so many VAs out there already, and I want you to know from the start you already have what it takes. It's not about tech skills. It's not about it's not about the space being too crowded. The real challenge that most VAs face and what gets in their way is that they're doing their business backwards, right? They're doing their business backwards, and we're going to talk about that today. Okay, good. Now pour your questions in. Pour your questions in. I want to hear everything that's on your mind. And it looks like Kathy's here, and Crystal's here, and Denise is here, and yeah, there's a bunch of you pouring in. I can see you guys are on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, and also on our pop-up group. So here's the thing. Okay, so we're gonna talk about pricing today. We're gonna talk about the truth about getting paid as a virtual assistant, because this is a topic that's very confusing. There's a lot of conflicting information out on the internet, and we're gonna bring it down to simple. All right. Because like I said, the problem isn't your skills or that the market is too crowded. The problem is that VAs are getting paid backward. They're chasing clients. They're sending proposal after proposal, doing the work and then hoping to get paid, right? Too many of them are getting burned by clients who disappear when it's time to pay the bill. Has that happened to any of you? Okay. So what if I told you there's a completely different way that you never had to chase payment again? What if your clients paid you upfront before you ever lifted a finger for the work, right? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you the exact system my students use and that I've been using for the past 15 years to get paid and to have a sustainable business as a VA. So stick with me, because by the end of this, not only are you going to see that you can do this, but you're going to be better than most people out there calling themselves VAs. All right. So it looks like Donna has joined us too. So tell me who's in the chat. Tell me who's in the chat. Okay. And also let me know what your biggest question is in terms of pricing as a VA. What's your biggest question in terms of pricing? Okay. So let's dive in. All right. So I want to show you the big picture of what it takes to make a truly successful virtual assistant business, right? Most people think being a successful VA is about being good at tasks, being organized, knowing some software, maybe having a nice website. But that's like trying to bake a cake without the flour. You might have, one ingredient, but you're missing everything else you need. So the first ingredient you need, there are 4 essential ingredients, and you need all 4 to build a sustainable business. The first one is client attraction. You need a system that brings clients to you. And when you do this right, you're not in competition with anyone else, because clients are seeking you out specifically. Doesn't that sound amazing? It's true. Number 2 is pricing and packaging. And this is where I'm going to teach you something different from what you're hearing everywhere else. Because while other trainers are teaching you to stop charging by the hour and create packages, I'm going to show you how to charge premium hourly rates in a way that protects you and makes your clients happy. All right. There's a right way to do hourly billing, and most VAs have never learned it. The third thing is VA business skills. This is about knowing how to run your VA practice like a real business, not just a side hustle. This business foundation is what separates successful VAs from those who are always struggling. All right. And the fourth ingredient is the VA Success Operating System. This is how you manage your workflow so you can serve clients with ease instead of drowning in chaos and burnout. All right. Now, here's what I've discovered helping hundreds of VAs build their successful businesses. When you have all 4 ingredients, that's when the magic happens. But when you're missing even just one piece, that's when it's frustrating, you're getting underpaid, and wondering why this isn't working. Okay. Good. Good. All right. So I want to talk about 4 different ways VAs typically charge for their work because this is where a lot of confusion happens. All right. You've got 4 main pricing models: project based, packages, retainers, and hourly. Okay. Now, here's what most other trainers will tell you. They're going to say, don't charge by the hour. It's a trap. You need packages and retainers to make real money. But I'm going to tell you something different because I've seen what actually works in the real world. All right, so let's start with project based. Project based sounds really good in theory, but it's a nightmare to manage. So what happens is you have to have a conversation with the client and understand the entire project. Then you have to figure out what all the steps would be in order for you to come up with a price. So where I'm looking, you're already working, coming up with a solution to figure out the price before you even know if you've been chosen for the job. That makes me mad when I have to do that, right? So I stopped doing it. And here's the other thing. Clients don't know all the details. So they might, for example, say, this was an example I had. So one of my clients said, I have a PayPal account. We'll just hook that up when we do the pricing page. I'm like, okay, fine. So I priced it according to that. Then it turns out he doesn't have a PayPal account. He thought he had a PayPal account. So now I have 2 choices. I can either set up his PayPal account and not change the price, or I can renegotiate. Now I have to wonder, how much is setting up a PayPal account worth? Right? And now I'm renegotiating. Scope creep is real. All right. And clients don't understand the extent of what they're asking you to do. And it's hard for you to do that as well until you get in there. All right. So flat rate, project based, not good. All right. Packages. So packages seem neat and tidy, right? But they're rigid, because what happens when a client needs something that doesn't fit in your package? You're constantly, again, having these awkward conversations about what is and isn't included. Now, retainers can work, right? But they often become a source of stress because clients think that they own you for that monthly fee, and you're always worried about them using up the hours too fast or too slow. I did a retainer once. I've done all of this. I did a retainer and I was always stressed out because I kept thinking, am I giving too much? Am I not giving enough? What about my other clients? How does this all fit in? It was a nightmare. I felt like there were no boundaries. Okay. Now, hourly. When hourly is done right, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it right, it's actually the most honest, transparent, and profitable way to run your VA business. And the key is how you structure it. And that's what we're going to dive into next. Okay, good. All right, so let me paint you a picture of where you are probably right now and where you want to get to. All right, so let me just enlarge this slide for you. Okay, so right now you might be feeling stuck. Maybe you're in a job that doesn't fulfill you, or you're trying to make ends meet with multiple side hustles that aren't really working. You know you want something different, more flexibility, more income potential, the ability to work from anywhere. But here's what happens to most people on this journey. They get distracted by all these shiny objects along the way. Someone tells them to join an MLM and they'll make 6 figures. Or they think they'll start an Etsy store and become the next craft empire. Maybe they try selling essential oils or pick up a part-time job that just adds up to more stress in their life. And then there's a whole bunch of invisible obstacles that are even more dangerous. The mindset meteor field, where you start doubting yourself, thinking, who am I to charge premium rates? Or there are already too many VAs out there. Or the imposter black hole, where you get stuck thinking that you just need more certifications, more skills, more something before you're ready to start. But here's what I want you to see. Virtual assistance is the direct path. It's the bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. You don't need to take all these detours. You don't need to get lost in the obstacles. You just need the right roadmap to get you there safely and confidently. And that's what I'm going to show you. And how do you make this journey successful? How do you avoid all of those distractions? The answer is VA school. You could Try to figure this all out on your own. You could spend months Googling how to become a virtual assistant and watching random YouTube videos. You could piece together bits of information from blog posts and hope you're doing it right. But here's what happens when people try to do this alone. They get caught in the same trap that keeps most VA struggling. They end up doing the work first, then sending the invoices, then chasing the payments. They waste precious billable hours explaining invoices, dealing with scope creep, and having awkward money conversations with clients. Some even get ghosted completely and never get paid at all. VA school is different. It's the complete roadmap that takes you from where you now are to running a profitable business where you get paid upfront for every single hour you work. No chasing payments, no bad debt, no stress about whether or not that check is going to bounce. In fact, one of the bonuses you're going to get is my signature debit card system. When you sign up for VA school, the exact payment method that has 100% of my clients paying me entirely upfront. That's right, 100% upfront. And the best part is that my clients love it too because it's so simple and convenient for them. This isn't a theory, it's a proven system that's already helped hundreds of students make this exact journey. Okay, here I am. Good. Okay, I want to reorganize how this looks. Okay, good. Now I want to show you something that's going to change how you think about getting paid. All right. So like I said, it's called the debit card system. And I want to tell you a story that's really going to illuminate this. Because here's the thing. It's like when someone's already purchased a debit card, they're actually excited to use the time they've purchased, right? There's no awkward conversations about money because the financial transaction already happened. Right. So they're not thinking, should I hire her for this? They're thinking, I'm glad I have time available to get this done. And here's what's beautiful about this is that the clients are not stressed because they're not going to get a surprise invoice, right? They know exactly what they're spending. They can reload their card when it's convenient for them with just one click. And it also makes the dilemma for you of whether you should keep working if you haven't been paid simpler, because the answer is no. When the hours are done, you take your hands off the keyboard. It's that simple. And from my own experience, so Carrie and Mandy all work on the debit card system, which is amazing because I know when I need to reload. Now, Mark, my graphics guy, invoices me, and the first of the month, every month, I think, oh, I wonder how much it is because I have no idea. Where with Carrie and Mandy, I know they've run out of hours. I'm going to buy more. I know where I stand. I know I have some runway for them to do the work. And it's a completely different experience. All right. So I want to tell you, here's what I want to tell you, a story that illustrates this method so powerfully. So it's not just about getting your money faster. All right. So let me tell you the story. I had a client who I'd been working with for years using the debit card system. She was one of my first clients. Everything was smooth. She was happy, no issues at all. Then I had to go out of town. So I brought in another excellent VA to handle her work while I was away. She did a fantastic job, same quality work, very professional. When the project was done, she sent my client an invoice for $1,200. My phone rang 13 seconds after my client got the invoice and said, this is too much money. I can't believe she's charging me this much. You know, all the thing. Now, here's the kicker. We went back and we looked at how much I charge for the same type of project a few months earlier. And it turns out I had actually taken longer and charged her more than the VA that I brought in for the project had. So, right, same client, same work. I charged more, but because she had already purchased the time up front, with the debit card system, it felt painless. So when she got that invoice after the work was done, it felt like a financial attack, like, oh, $1,200, right? And so this is the psychological power we're talking about. When they've already invested in the time, they want to use it. When they get surprised with the bill, even a fair one, it creates resistance and stress. All right. And we want to keep our people smiling over here with the happy cube. All right. Good. So that short story really does show you the real power of the debit card system. It's not just about cash flow, it's about client psychology. And when clients have already invested in your time, they're in a completely different mindset shift, right? Now, I want to show you exactly how this system works so you can set it up for your own business. Now, it's not complicated. In fact, the beauty of it is how simple it is, but it doesn't mean it's easy to figure out on your own. It took me years to develop this system and work out all the details. And the good news is you don't have to figure it out from scratch. I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps that makes this work, and I'll show you the real world results that VAs are getting that are using this system right now. And remember, this system has given me 100% upfront payments from every single client for over a decade. Not 95, 100%, and it can be the same for you. Okay, good. So what is the debit card system? I'm going to break it down exactly. All right. So first, you sell your hours in chunks. Instead of saying I charge $25 an hour and I'll bill you for $25, in my invoice, people prepay your time in 5 or 10 hour chunks. All right. Whatever works for you. It's a virtual debit card. It's kind of like a gift card. All right. But for your time. Second is you choose and set up your payment method. I use Stripe, which integrates seamlessly and allows clients to pay by credit card. The money goes directly into your bank account. No waiting for checks, no worrying about bouncing payments, no delays. All right. And then the third step is you track your hours. And I'll show you simple tools to make this effortless in VA school. No complicated time tracking software needed, just straightforward tracking using a tool called Toggle, so you know exactly how much time you've used. And then the 4th step is to report back to your clients. So every week they get a simple email showing exactly how their time was used, their remaining balance, and it keeps you top of mind every Monday when it's time and lets them know when it's time to reload their card. All right. Now, here's what's brilliant about this system. It's completely self-service for your clients. When they see the balance running low, they can click one link and reload their card with the credit card. And boom, they've purchased more time. So no more back and forth emails about rates or invoicing and no awkward money conversations. And they love it because it's so straightforward and they're never surprised by invoices. They're in complete control of their spending and it actually makes their lives easier. All right, please, any questions, put them in the chat for me. Now, I want you to hear from someone who's actually using the system. This is Christine Schrader. She runs Schrader Administrative Solutions. So listen to what she says. One of the biggest questions when you start to get clients is how to bill them. Unfortunately, there are people who would have you do the work and never pay. Belinda's debit card system cuts that off at the pass. Your client pays you upfront. This is right. So this is exactly what we've been talking about. No more wondering when you'll get paid, if you'll get paid, no more doing the work and crossing your fingers. But here's what I love about what Christine says next. Belinda's step-by-step instructions for setting this up were invaluable. It would have taken a lot of time and research to figure out some of the aspects. Now, this is so important because you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually set it up? What tools do I use? How do I explain it to clients? What if something goes wrong? And Christine continues, instead, I was able to follow along with really easy to understand instructions. I have to admit, even now, when I have to set up a client with a similar payment system, I go back to the debit card system and rewatch. So even experienced VAs go back to these instructions because they're so thorough and clear, and you won't be left guessing or trying to piece together how to do this from some random blog post. And this system has been tested and refined by hundreds of VAs, and now you can have your own copy of the step-by-step process. All right. And Marcy is another VA who's using this system, and she says, I love using the debit card system. Using Belinda's instructions, it was easy to set up and really easy to use. It eliminates the need to continuously discuss money with your clients, which avoids a lot of uncomfortable conversations. Think about this for a minute, right? How much mental energy do you spend worrying about money conversations with clients? Should I ask for payment now? How do I bring up that overdue invoice? What if they think I'm being pushy? All of that stress disappears. But here's where it gets even better. Marcy says, also, whenever I explain it to prospective clients, they always comment on what a great idea it is and often ask me to set it up for their business, right? This is huge. The debit card system actually becomes a selling point to attract clients to you. Instead of prospects thinking, oh, another one who's going to bill me later, they're thinking, wow, this is so much better than dealing with invoices and payment hassles. Some of Marcy's clients, like I said, have asked her to set up similar systems for their business. I've had this experience as well because they see how well it works. And notice what Marcy says at the end. I highly recommend using the debit card system. This isn't, this isn't someone who's tried it once. She's using it successfully and recommends it to other VAs because she can see the results firsthand. Yeah. So Crystal says, is it set up for all currencies? Meaning, does it automatically convert if you're not in the US? So Stripe, okay, so let's jump up a minute. That's a great question. So if you are a country that is accessible that can use Stripe in your country, then it works exactly the same. Tell me where you are, Crystal. Are you in Canada or the UK? I can't remember. But if you are, no problem. Now, we had a student in Uruguay who Stripe does not work there. So she found another payment processing company and used the exact same system, except she just changed that one piece. So yes, it does convert. It does convert. So I have always been paid in US dollars, even if my clients were in different parts of the world. What about Australia? I don't know for sure, but if you want to Google, well, let's just do it right now for fun, okay? Can I use Stripe in Australia? Yes, you can. Absolutely. All right. Canada, I know you can in Canada. I'm going to just, I'm going to Google just to make sure. Yes, you can. Yeah. And here's the thing. It's not really about the processor itself, because you could use PayPal, you could use Square. It's about how it all gets set up. So how you communicate with clients, how they pay you up front. It's about the language you use. And then there's some cool hacks. Like here, I'll give you a hint about one of them. So at the end of the year, my clients are successful, right? Because they can afford to pay me $90 an hour. So at the end of the year, they might have a little stack of cash in their bank account and they don't want to pay taxes on it. So that's when they buy a new computer, a new printer, invest in their business so that they don't have to pay tax on those things. So I offer, and the exact text I use to make this offer to my clients is in the debit card system. I offer them the opportunity to buy more debit cards to use in the next year, and they'll do it. So sometimes I'll have a $15,000 month in December, which rocks because there's so many expenses in December, and it's never slowed down January. There's just been certain clients who wanted to, load up on some time, and I'm ready to go. And it doesn't really impact my taxes because I have to pay taxes on it. But if someone all of a sudden I have $15,000 in a month, I'll just peel off 4,000 of that and just save it for taxes. No big deal, right? Right. Good. All right. So let's keep going and keep your questions coming. All right. We can solve them. All right. So now that you've seen this system work and you've heard from real VAs using it, and you understand the psychological power behind it, which is crazy, I just want to explain that, this is one small part of having a successful, profitable VA business. Because what good is it knowing how to get paid if you don't have any clients, right? And what good is tracking your time if you don't know what services to offer or how to price them or how to talk about them confidently? So VA School gives you the complete picture. It teaches you how to attract the right clients without awkward cold calling or pitching, how to practice or package using the debit card and price your services with confidence, how to run your VA business like a company and not a side hustle. And the debit card system is one of the bonuses waiting for you inside VA school. Okay. You're going to learn how to set up credit card processing, use ready to go client scripts, track your hours with ease, and most importantly, be financially productive from day one. Now, like I said, this is the system I've used for over a decade. Actually, so I've been in business for 15 years, and I probably put this together about a year and a half in. And now it's yours too when you join VA school. All right. Okay, so off topic. Nope, Tracy, this is all about money. Not to the off topic. Do you run your business on accrual or cash? I run my business on cash. So that means that I'm not an accountant. My husband is, and he actually comes and speaks in VA school. So accrual, I don't actually know what accrual is, but cash is like when I pay for it, that's when it hits my books. I think accrual is, I can't explain it, but you guys can Google it. But to answer your question, I run it on cash. So if I buy something on December 31st, it gets counted toward that year, and I don't push it into the next year. Okay, good. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this is your roadmap. All right, this is your roadmap. So Tracy, she says, I know the difference, but I was assuming cash. Yeah, I'm not able to speak intelligently about a lot of accounting things, but that's what my husband does. So that's awesome. All right. So I want to walk through this. So let me do this. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the modules of VA school. So orientation, module 1. This is where we get out those new kid, first day jitters and show you exactly what's possible. In module 2, we lay the groundwork where we set you up for success from day one with the right foundation. Module 3 is choosing your services, and this is where so many of my students have had light bulb moments. You don't need to learn a whole bunch of tech to be a VA. You already have the skills you need. We just figure out how to package them. Module 4, getting great clients. This is where you get out there, landing your first clients faster than you thought was possible. Module 5, pricing your services. And this is a big one. You want to be able to confidently charge premium rates for your services. And yes, you can do this. And clients will tell you you're worth every penny. In module 6, marketing 102, next steps. Because you got your first clients, it's time to ramp up your marketing in a way that feels good and gets you results. Module 7, legal and financial management. This means getting your finances in order, understanding how to set up your business, and we talk a little bit about insurance. Module 8 is website essentials. I see so many VAs and aspiring VAs getting stuck when it comes to building a website, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to get your website up and running, and I have a brand new bonus for you that's going to blow your socks off. Module 9 is tool time. I'll walk through my favorite tools and tips to make the most of your time and your productivity. And module 10, managing the day-to-day. So this is all about giving your clients the best possible experience while managing your time without hustle or burnout. And this is a complete system, no missing pieces. Hello, Wendy, just arriving. Hello. And here's something really special. You also get access to our regular study hall sessions. These are live group calls where you can bring your questions, work on your business in real time, and get feedback both from me and other students. It's like having a study buddy, but for building your VA business. And maybe you're stuck on how to respond to a client email, or you're not sure how to price your services, or you need someone to look over your website before you launch it. Study hall is where you get that real-time support. And this isn't just a bonus. This is baked in part of VA school, and we meet 3 times a week. 3 times a week. All right. So let's talk about the bonuses. All right. So everything you need to succeed are in the bonuses. When I first started VA school, I was working with a business coach, and she said, all of these, the debit card system and the newsletter system, all of that, I wouldn't put it in VA school. I would just, I would charge separately for that. And if they need it or want it, whatever. And I said, they 100% need every piece of this. And not only is it going to be impossible to teach them without it, I don't want to. So we rolled all of these out with VA School right away, and we've actually added some new bonuses. So the first one is Website in a Box. Now this is my complete template and setup system for a WordPress website. If you're not technical and you don't know how to do this, no problem. It's step by step right here. Now this was up until yesterday, this was sold separately. You can still buy it separately, but now I've included it into VA School because I want this to be like your business in a box, everything you need. So the website in a Box course is now part of VA School, and it will teach you. It's a professionally designed template that my team has developed that I have created for clients in the past who have paid, I'm not kidding, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 for a website for my team. And we're putting it right into VA School for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to set up a website, and you're also going to learn the basics that you need in order to skill build and offer the same services for clients. So you'll be able to update your clients' WordPress websites once you complete this course for yourself. The second is the VA roadmap. This is new also. This is a 30-minute session with me. We're going to map out your specific path to success based on your skills, your goals, and your situation. And these sessions are going to be available for the month of October. Every single student who enrolls in VA School will get a 30-minute strategy session with me, this roadmap session in October. We'll be emailing you a link to set up some time on my calendar for that. The third is the debit card system, which we've gone into great detail already. The fourth is my complete template library. It's all the documents you need. There are 3 spreadsheets in there, actually 4. One of them is the home office tax deduction calculator. It's something I've used in my own life for decades, and we just recently added it to VA School. So it is how to keep track of the home office deductions you have. So when you do your taxes or give them to your accountant, he'll have all of the numbers that he needs. There's also a student revenue tracker. And that is where you put all of the money, you record all of the money that your clients have paid you, and you can project out based on what's happened so far. So in February, you can say, okay, based on what's happened so far, if the same thing happens through the rest of the year, this is how much money I'll make. So you can really figure out your cash flow, when the money's coming in, all the things. Really cool. There are discovery call guides. There's a home office setup checklist. There's an email template that you send out to clients when you first start working with them that explains how you work, how much you charge, all the things. It's kind of a client agreement in a sense. And that is all in the templates. All right. Now, the 5th bonus is indispensable VA skills training. These are the business skills that separate successful VAs from those who struggle. So this is what makes you valuable and keeps your clients coming back. So what I've done in this course, it's rolling out over the next few months. There are 2 modules available now: email inbox management and client management. The next module will roll out in October, and it's going to be video editing, how to edit videos. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll have everything you need to edit videos for clients. I love recording these classes. They're so much fun, and rolling them out to you. So when you sign up for VA School, you'll get the first 2 modules, and you'll get the 2nd or the 3rd module by the end of October. Okay. And then finally, you'll get the 9 months of live Facebook support, direct access to me, and a community of successful VAs who are building their businesses alongside you. And everything you need is there. No gaps, no figure it out yourself moments. All right. So any questions about any of that? So what you're going to walk away with is you're going to be crystal clear on your services and your pricing. You're going to have your website and your systems in place. You're going to know how to attract clients consistently. You're going to get paid before you lift a finger, and have a community and a coach walking right beside you. All right, I want to share one last story with you. H. Smith says, how long do we have access to the training? Lifetime access. And so some of the things I didn't talk about because I think it just gets a little overwhelming, but you will get lifetime access to the course. And in addition, you'll get updates. So about a year ago, I completely revamped the debit card course, and everybody who's ever been in VA school got the updated version. There's some templates we're going to add, and we're going to be updating some modules in VA school. The people who did VA school 1.0 in 2021 will get those additions as well, and you'll be notified via email. So yes, you have lifetime access to it all. So let me share this story from Michelle. I love this. She is one of my VA school graduates. She messaged me a while ago, and I loved what she said, so I grabbed it and put it into this talk for you. She says, I feel so bad for all the VAs out there wasting their precious time sending proposals and invoices, not to mention chasing clients who don't pay. I don't do any of that thanks to you. And then she said something that I love. She said, it works just like you said it would. My clients just buy a new card when they're running low. And that's what I want you to do too. Our business, what I want for you too, a business that's running smoothly, confidently, and on your own terms. One where you never have to chase money, justify your rates, or explain your invoices ever again. This isn't just a tool, it's a mindset shift. And it's one piece of what you'll get when you join VA school. So another question, do you cover AI? So we absolutely talk about AI in study hall. There's not a module on it. You know, it's interesting because I use AI every day, 100%. And it's really, now this might sound, well, it's going to sound like me. So we'll see what happens. It's not really that complicated. I know a lot of people are giving away these like super cool prompts, like to get this exact formula to do a thing for them, you know, but in VA work, I haven't found that to be something that I need. I use it mostly for, I use it a lot for grammar, but I use it for things like, here's what I did one time. I uploaded my YouTube channel, and you could do this for a client. And I said, how long are my most successful videos? And they told me 17 seconds. That saved me a ton of time, right? Now, I've also uploaded the scripts for all my videos and said, pull quotes from the scripts that I can use in social media. Epic fail. Epic fail. Tried it multiple times. Tried it with even some super cool prompt that somebody gave me. There are some things that AI can do, and there's a lot of things it just can't do yet. But the way that I think of it is it's a tool. When I started in the dark ages, I had a typewriter. The computer came. I still needed my brain. My brain got upgraded a little bit, right? Because now I got to learn all these new things about the computer, and you'll get to learn new things about AI as well. So yes, we cover it. Is there a whole module on it? No, no, there's not. There's definitely not, but we talk about it. Okay. Okay, good. You know, and I want to say one last thing, because when AI first became more prominent, a lot of VAs were scared of it. And I have to say, yeah, there's no reason to be afraid. I would lean into it though, you know, I would lean into it. Oh my gosh, Kathy, typewriter, me too, manual. For my high school graduation, I got light blue Samsonite luggage and a Smith Corona portable typewriter in a case. Okay. Yes, indeed. Okay. Remember the keys went down. I was like, key. Yeah. That's how I learned to type. That's how I learned to type. And I'm still a functioning human of society now, even with all the changes, right? Even with all the changes. Good. Oh, interesting. So Tracy said, I had a great chat with Tori this morning, and it was a great, a grad chat. It was a great chat. So glad to have this option. Yeah, if you want to reach out and talk to Cindy, Tracy, send me an email. Send me an email, belinda@thevaconnection.com. The way that the grad chat software works is it's random. So there are like seven or eight grads that have raised their hand, and it just picks the next available one for the time slot that you want. It's called Round Robin. It's part of a software that we just learned called TidyCal. I didn't know anything about it, but I wanted to offer this. So I Googled it and the team and I figured it out. So yeah, we can do that. Okay, good. Good. All right. So I want to talk about your path to becoming a paid confident VA. Join VA school today. Choose your services, set your prices, use the debit card system to start charging upfront. Land your first client with the help of feedback, coaching, community support, inside study hall. Build momentum, raise your rates, and take control of your time. All right. Yeah. So it's your turn. Now it's your turn, right? You've seen what's possible. You've seen the steps. The only thing left is a decision, right? You want to build a real business that gets you paid. VA school is how to do it. I'll walk right with you. And if you're feeling nervous, that's okay. It just means this matters to you, right? And that's a good thing. So you can either choose 9 payments of $247 or 1 payment of $19.97, and you can enroll by going to vaschool.info. vaschool.info. You can also go, we just registered a new domain, thevaschool.com. Either one will get you there. Okay. And I just mentioned this briefly, but I want to talk about these grad chats because I know a big decision brings up questions. What if it doesn't work for me? What's it really like inside VA school? What do past students wish that they knew sooner? And so we've made something available that very few programs offer. And this is the first time for us. You can schedule a private 15-minute call with one of our VA school grads. So these are real people who started out just like you. Many of them nervous, uncertain, wondering, if they had what it takes. And now they've built something they're proud of. So you can ask them anything. There's not going to be a sales pitch, no pressure, just honest answers. And if you book today, you'll be sure to get a spot before enrollment closes. So if this path feels exciting to you and you want to talk it through, this is your next step. Good. Oh, good. Kathy says, I'm going to enroll, just working through finances. Good. And all right. Crystal, same here. Good for you. I'd love to have you guys. I would love to have you. And really, truly, my goal is to make sure you have every question answered. This is not, hopefully you haven't felt like this at all. I've been on trainings many times where the training's over and I'm like, did we talk about the thing? Like, did I get any information? And I don't want that to be the case. So if there's something you came here for today that I didn't answer, just pop it in the chat and I'll answer it right now. Okay. I will answer it right now. So you can go to gradchat.com, gradchat.com to, oh no, it's not, you guys, it's vagradchat.com. I just registered that URL this morning. I was pretty excited about my big idea and I wrote it wrong on the slide. So vagradchat.com. Gradchat.com was $10,000. So even though I love you guys, I went with VA Grad Chat. Yes, Anne Marie said she enrolled yesterday. Anne Marie was our first person to sign up. So congrats on being number 1. Okay, good. Oh, good. Denise says, I highly recommend taking advantage of Grad Chat. My Grad Chat was highly valuable. Yeah, I'll tell you what. So I work with a business coach right now, and I've been working with him for, gosh, a little bit, year and a half. And I had questions, and when he didn't have 2,000 people in his training like I do, he had like 10,000 people. And he was not offering time to talk to him. Plus I would have been so intimidated. Like, how am I going to ask him my silly little question? Right. And so he had these, I don't know what he called it. He didn't call it grad chats. But he had these grad chats and I got on with this woman. I had 3 questions. I'm like, this, and this. And she was like, yes, yes, yes. And I signed up and that was it. And it took all of the doubt away from me because here's what I was afraid of. I was afraid I was too far along and I would be, like I wouldn't get as much value and it was an expensive program. So I wanted to make sure I was going to get the value, and I know some of you are like, well, I've been in business for a year. Is this for me? Well, if you don't have all the clients you want and you're not making the money you want, yes, 100%, because that just means you're missing a step, right? You're missing a step. So that's why we did the grad chats, because I had such a good experience from it. We decided to implement it. Okay. In VA school, do we discuss taxes? Yes and no. So I definitely am not in a position to give you tax advice. We talk about setting up your business. We talk about EINs, LLCs, like all the alphabet soup. We absolutely talk about that. We have spreadsheets to calculate your home office deductions for your taxes. We talk about tracking your finances. I give you some recommendations on what software to use. It's not right now, it's not baked in VA school. It's a separate session that we have quarterly. You will get a replay of the last quarter, so you don't have to wait for it. But it is one of the things that we're going to build out. My husband used to do the sessions all the time, and he got a job, so he's not home to do them quarterly. So we're gonna figure that out. Yeah. So let's see. Here's a question. What should we expect to spend on office setup? Just an approximation. I'm starting from scratch after being laid off and temporarily relocated. So you need a computer. You need a computer. You can use a laptop. I have a desktop. Desktops are cheaper. I like working on a desktop, so you don't need some tricked out laptop. Mac or PC, your choice. PCs are cheaper. In terms of setup, well, everything you need is in VA school. So the website in a box, the debit card course, all of the ways to get clients, all of that is in there. So I can't think of another piece of education that you're going to need to invest in. It's all in there. The time tracker is free. The note-taking tracker that I use is free. Almost everything is free or like hardly expensive. Like Zoom, I suggest you get a paid Zoom account. I think that's like $12 or $15. I want you to get a professional email, your name @yourdomain.com. So you would need to get that. If you use, I know how much the Google is Gmail, paid Gmail is, I think it's $12 a month. You'll need web hosting for your website. That's going to be like $3 or $5 a month, not expensive. And then the only other thing that I really invested in, and I did it later, was I invested in project management software, which was about $65 a month, but I was managing, tens and tens of clients, and to spend that much to have consistent $8,000 months was not a big deal. But I continue to use the free or inexpensive, not because I didn't want to spend money, because I didn't need them. I'm a big fan of spending money where you need it and not wasting a penny. That's my philosophy. So really not a lot. I just want to scan my brain. Yeah, Zoom, email. Depending on how many files you have, you might want to get Dropbox. That's $10 a month, but I think you get 2 gigabytes free to start, which should get you started no problem. But you need a decent computer. Now my computer it's not new. It's probably 6 years old. So you don't need some newfangled thing. And I do all the video and all the things on it. And my laptop was not expensive that I take with me when I go on the road. So not a lot. Jolene, oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, not a lot. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I do have the paid Canva. I didn't have that when I had my Rocket Girl Solutions company VA business, because I didn't do graphics, but a lot of VAs like paid Canva. I can't remember what it costs, but I want to say it's less than $30 a year. A lot of VAs use Trello, the free version. There's a lot of workarounds that you can use. So it's not like you're going to have to lay down this big brick of money. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. That's a really good question. Okay. All right. So tomorrow at 11, you're going to hear directly from these fabulous women. So it's going to be Kathy. Okay, so remember Kathy's story? Kathy was making $20 an hour for I can't remember. She said in only 20 years. She raised her rates to $55 an hour, and she's working way less, making way more money. Cassandra, she made back her investment in 2 months. You're going to love talking to her. Cindy, when I met her, she was working in a deli in her 40s, right? Now she's supporting her kids successfully as a virtual assistant. And Tori, her story is amazing. She has paid off all kinds of medical debt and was able to fund her daughter's college. So that's pretty amazing too with her VA money. Yeah. Yeah. So Tracy says so many things. Software I was not thinking of needing. Yeah, there's really not a lot to it. Honestly, when I started, I had a phone, I had a laptop, and I went to Staples and I got 6 notebooks, one for each client, and I had a pen. And I'm not kidding. I just really had very little because I didn't know what I needed. There's not like you go back to school. There's not like a back to school VA starter, thing at Staples. So you just really, as you need things. But there's really not a lot. There's really not a lot. Oh, and here, so guys, most of the software that you use, your clients are going to pay for, right? So if you're doing someone's social media planning, they're going to pay for the schedule. If you're doing scheduler, if you're doing a newsletter for someone, they're going to pay for MailChimp. Now you might pay for it for you, or you could use the free version, but you're not paying for the software to manage your client's work at all. All right. So you don't have to do any of that. All right. So anyway, so come to the session tomorrow. They're going to answer your questions. I'm going to interview them. I'll come with questions. And then what happens is that you guys will get warmed up, and then you'll start to ask your questions, and then the whole thing will flip over to what's on your mind, which will be really good. So we're streaming it live. It'll be on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and in our pop-up group, our pop-up Facebook group as well. And it's going to be at 11 o'clock. Okay. All right. And then if you're still on the fence, tomorrow at 7:00 p.m., I'm going to host an open house. So I'll be in my Zoom room. You guys can just pop in and ask me anything you want. You can ask me about how the payment plans work. What happens if I fall behind? Any of the yeah, but what ifs, I'll be right there with you. And the Zoom link is on your calendar right now. If you downloaded the calendar, all of these events are there with the links to join. And I'd love a chance to meet you. I would love a chance to meet you. So come in the Zoom room. It'll be fun. Okay, good. All right. So any questions before we go? I know there's a lag, so I'm going to just wait a minute and take some of my iced tea here. But any question at all, just really rack your brain. All questions are good. All questions are good. All right. I'm glad to see so many of you here. This is cool. All right. So this is how you get started. All right. Pay in full option. You'll get the best value, plus you'll get a 1-hour VIP strategy session with me. There is a bonus for paying in full, or you can go with the payment plan, right? It's 9 payments of $247. And that's also going to include all of the bonuses, all of the things we talked about today. How long for a VA school to reach graduation? 9 months. 9 months. So thanks for asking about that, Kathy. Now listen, it does not take 9 months to do VA school. Not even close. Some students it does. They have a full-time job. They want to go at a slower pace. But when you look at like Cassandra and Lori, they were highly motivated to get out there and start making money right away. So by the time they graduated from VA school, they had their business completely set up and they were making money, and they had other things come up, right? Other things like, how do I handle the nuances of networking, or how do I handle this client situation, or how should I answer this email? And then they were fine tuning their business. So you have me available to you for 9 months. You have 9 months of live sessions. You have 9 months of guest experts coming, and all of the replays that happened, the study halls and bonus sessions that happened during that time. So for 9 months. Okay, good. All right. So, I want to think if there's anything else I want to tell you. I don't think so. So you can go to vaschool.info and sign up. I would love to see you inside. Oh, good. Kara says, thank you, Belinda. This was a great session. I'm glad. I'm glad. And if anything comes up, pop it in the Facebook group or let me know. Oh, wait. So my grad chat person just sent me an email following up again from our chat yesterday. She recalled something else she thinks will help me get started. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, you guys. Okay. So there's something we haven't talked about, and I realize this now. The people who sign up for VA school are amazing. They're generous, they're kind, they're helpful. And the grads, they want to help you. Like they genuinely, they say to me all the time, and I'm not saying this to be boastful. This is just me off the cuff here. But like Cassandra, when I talked to her, she's like, you changed my life. You changed my life. They were going to get a franchise. Her husband's a professor. He doesn't like what he's like. It's all this stuff, you know, and now she has this clear path. She's making money. Tori, same situation. You know, her business was stalled. Leanne, she went from making $65,000 a year to $104,000 a year. I can't do math very well, but what is that, like 48,000 extra dollars, you know? And they're genuine people who just want to help. And so, yeah, right. So Tracy says, Tori was so great this morning. Such a help. Isn't she? Like, they're all just like delicious. You know, they're delicious. And all the people who are in VA school are like that. And then what happens is after you graduate, there's something called VA School Momentum Builders. There's a little over 100 people in there, people who have graduated who want to stay in the community. And that's where these people are from. They're from this community. And they truly want to help other women and other people, but it's mostly women, take the next step in their lives, you know, and to make that transformation and to see what's possible. And so I kind of felt like I was asking them to, you know, do a favor, and all of them were like, I was so honored you asked me. I was so happy that you asked me. So just keep that in mind. The people are amazing. They're amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you guys, so you know your next steps, right? You know your next steps. I'll see you tomorrow in Zoom. We're also going to do, we're going to do this panel tomorrow. So it's on your calendar. Don't miss out. You're going to love it. All right. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye for now.